Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to see the cancellation and modification pattern, a good complement for the previous one of bookings. It's a little bit more complex but pretty useful, so don't worry about it. We are going to see how to design that, how to use, and a little examples. So let's go for it. Okay, so let's go to the graph. Firstly, we are going to see the state. As you know, the state is a set of variables who are set between all the nodes. So we have message. What is the standard way of LangChain to say conversation, as you see in the previous graph. Customer name. Customer name, we are going to use this field here, but usually in production, what I usually do is I have another graph for the onboarding and what is active in the first conversation of the user, and we save the customer name. We create a customer identification for that customer, and we have the phone number too, because usually the system are released on WhatsApp, so we have the phone number too. So we have the customer identified at any moment on the system, so this is not necessary, but for this educational pattern we are going to use to identify the book. Alright, so the intent is going to be the intention of the conversation. This occasion is modify, reschedule, or unknown intention. And here we have the appointment. These three fields we are going to see in the code better. This way is going to be easier to understand. We have an existing appointment dictionary. Here we save the identification of the appointment, the service, the day, the time, the customer name, and the status. So one of these class is a book, okay? But sometimes one customer have several appointments, several books. So we have here phone appointment, what is a list or existing appointment. So when the user asks for, I want to modify an appointment, we return a list of different appointments. Alright? And selected appointment is the appointment the user select when we show to him several appointments. Okay, so have the same fields. Modification request is when the user already select a book or an appointment. What are the new data about that appointment the user wants to modify? So we have what type of modification, if you want to cancel or change the date or the time. And we have the date, the time, the service, and the reason why they want to modify in case the user gives to us. After we have the current step of the conversation, that is pretty useful. It's like a kind of context to have better information, if not. And we have the modification completed and the modification confirmed, what are flags that we use to make some routing in the graph. And as always, we have the answer field. Okay, now we know how the state is defined. We are going to understand the graph. The first node is the detected intent. As you know, the detected intent is a node who returns the intention of the user message. In this case, we have modify, we have cancel, we have rescheduling, and we have unknown. In case the intention is unknown, we are going to go directly to the respond user node, and we are to say to him, okay, I can help you with modify, rescheduling, or modify. So tell me how can I help you. As you know, in production, this node is a large language model, but in this case, as is educational pattern, we are going to use regist. And also, if the intention is different or fact known, the node is going to set the current step to identify. Alright, so next node is extract customer data. Extract customer data, what is doing is, if we are in current step awaiting confirmation, that means we are in the final step of the modification or cancellation. So if the, sorry, this is bigger. So if the message of the user is something to confirm, again this introduction is a large language model, we are going to set the modification confirm flag to true. We return that. In this case, we go directly to confirm modification. If not, it's going to check if we have the customer name. If we have the customer name, we are going to return the same current step. If not, we are going to try to extract the name and set in the state. Alright, so if we have the customer name, we are going to go to look appointment. If not, we are going to go to respond user and say, okay, tell me your name. Alright, so lookup appointment. Lookup appointment, what it's doing is looking for the appointment for that customer name, and the appointment phone is going to return as a dictionary we defined before in the state. We'll see that in more details after with example, in a more visual way. Also, the process records node is the more complex node in the chart, in the graph. This node is going to take the appointment, in case we have some, is going to handle the appointment selection in case we have in the step of awaiting selection or awaiting modification details. Why? Because one step in the conversation is we are going to show to the user the appointment, and they is going to choose one. So this is the method when we extract the selection of the user. This is one of the things that process request know. But apart of that, is the responsible of modify the book. So if the user wants to change the date, to change the time, or whatever, this is the node. We are going to do that and have a logic if it's just one appointment what the user have, but directly can do the modification. If not, they are going to show to the user extract and after do the modification or the cancellation. And when we have that, we go always to checkability node, because we are going to check if we can do this modification or not. And if everything is okay, we go to confirm modification node. Alright, it's time for one example to understand how that works under the hood. We define a couple of mocks appointment from Juan Luis, a haircut and Bertrin. A haircut is not the what I need, but alright. So go to the example. We say, I want to change my book. My name is Juan Luis. Now he's saying you have two appointments, the haircut and the berry. Which one you would like to modify? Alright, what is happening here? Let's go to see it. Okay, dated intent set current state to identify. Dated intent set identify in the first iteration, but if we just have a current step previously, they doesn't change that one. Okay, that's important to understand to have a better flow in the graph. Okay, intent is modify, so go to extract customer data, extract customer data, extract the name, his release, we have a name here, so he put Juan Luis as a customer name, and as he put Juan Luis in a customer name and we have a customer name, we go to look appointment. A lookup appointment is looking for the appointment for this name and is found to appointment. And this is the dictionary, the list of dictionaries as I explained before. Alright? So go to process request, and process request is in charge of create the answer. In this case, the answer is we have two appointments, this one and this one. Which one you would like to modify? And go to respond user because we are still two. If we have just one, go to checkability directly. Alright, now we want to I want to change 1 to 11 hour. Sorry. Now, great, I can change your haircut. So I confirm this change. Alright, what is happening? Turn 2. Detect intent, keep the same current step, await the selection. Extract customer data, look up appointment doesn't do anything here, so go to process request, and process request is extracting the one, so the appointment we want to modify and the modification we want to do. So we have the same from the appointment, but we have the modification request dictionary modify to new time 11 and select appointment. Now just have the haircut. So now we have the modification and the appointment selected. We go to checkability, and checkability is checking if that time is available. As we just say the time, we keep the same date. So checkability, check that and come back to our answer. The answer is great. I can change your haircut appointment and ask for confirmation. So go to respond user, and now we confirm the appointment. Excellent, your appointment has been successfully modified. What is happening now is pretty simple. We just start the Deterministic and extract customer data. Now is extracting the confirmation. So now, as we have awaiting confirmation, and the confirmation is true, so the flag modification confirm is true. So now we go directly to confirm modification. What is the in charge to creating the database in production on here, the modification of the. Alright guys, that's everything for this pattern. I hope you enjoy and you learn how to release, how to create this kind of pattern. So thanks for your support. See you in the next chapter. Goodbye.